something shifted in the space race on December 21st, 1968. So again, before this, your money would be on the Soviets.
For sure.
Yeah. But on December 21st, 1968, Apollo 8 launched and became the first manned spacecraft to reach the moon's orbit and return. It didn't land, but proved the journey was possible, and the US edged forward. But thinking about it though, they've got to the moon, orbited and come back, but there's still a lot of steps to get to their goal. So they've got to get back to moon's orbit, land on the moon, step out on the moon, get back into the module, go back up, back into Earth's orbit and land safely. There's a lot of steps, and disaster could happen at any steps, and it's all unknown. So you might think, oh, well, they were basically there. It's a bit more complicated than that.
Yeah.
Regardless of those points above, the US a year later, in 1969, achieved just that. On July 16th, 1969, launching from Cape Kennedy, a rocket, Apollo 11, thundered into the sky, and on board were 3 men. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. And I feel like Michael Collins is kind of the forgotten one, because we've all heard of Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, but I hadn't heard of Michael Collins before until I watched a video on it.
Oh, you'd be so gutted, wouldn't you?
Yeah, because he didn't actually set foot on the moon. So 4 days later, on July 20th, the lunar module detached from the command module with Armstrong and Aldrin inside, whilst Collins remained in the command module, orbiting the moon alone, which would have been sad. The module touched down smoothly without error, and Armstrong stepped out, emerging first, his voice crackling through the void. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. 19 minutes later, Aldrin followed him, and millions watched from Earth, eyes wide, glued to their grainy black and white television sets. In real time, history was being made, and the US nation was following along, all feeling part of the achievement. For 2 hours and 15 minutes, the pair conducted planned experiments, collected samples, planted a flag, and explored a world untouched by humans. They even had that little car going.
Yeah.
Have you seen the video of it?
Yeah.
Weird. I don't know why they needed to do that, but I guess just a flex.
Boys
Weird
and toys.
okay. Then, just as seamlessly as they landed, they returned to the module, launched back into orbit, rejoined Collins, and began their journey home. On July 22nd, they landed back on Earth and were put into a 21-day quarantine in case they had brought back any alien pathogen, after which the men emerged and were met with parades, cheers, and a nation bursting with pride. It was, as Armstrong said, a giant leap for mankind. Everything had gone to plan. Perfectly even.